Hello.
Hey, welcome back to the Zilinski life. We're doing our May financial review.
It's not great.
Okay, so the bright side is that Cody's been off work for almost 3 months now, and we have managed to pay all of our bills
Yes.
again. So there's that.
The bright side is that we've paid all our bills, not that I've been off work.
Yeah, although it has been nice having you home.
Although, check out this beard. I can't grow this at work. I'm enjoying this.
Meanwhile, I've shaved my head again, if you
Yes.
hadn't noticed. Okay, so I guess we'll just kind of go through this.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's good.
Sure.
It's good.
It's good.
Okay, so our total income for May was just over $5,500. Our food and gas was really high. We spent over $1,200, and that's not including our dining out. Oh, I don't know why I left baby stuff in here, though. So I guess $1,000. I should probably move that to a different category. But groceries was $756. Baby diapers and wipes was $211. That's a lot. Yeah. Hello Bello diapers, which I'm not going to buy anymore. They're too expensive. I'm sorry. The Diaper Genie refills, some regular brand diapers, some wipes, and I think maybe one of these might have also been diapers. I'm not sure. I should have maybe put that on there. And then $245 for gas. But we went to Boyle twice this month. And that's like, 140 kilometers one way?
Yeah, something like that.
So.
It's like a just over 300K round trip.
Yeah. Entertainment was just under $20, which is pretty cheap. Dining out was more than we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
That was almost $400 in May.
Yeah, we really struggle with the dining out thing because, like, I really like variety, and I know that we pretty much always get, like, the same 3 things when we dine out, but those 3 things that we get while dining out are not the same 5 things that I cook all the time, so a little change is nice.
Yeah, so it's still a work in progress, but there it is. Debt, we made all of our debt payments last month.
Did.
It was a total of $1,200. We made our 2 minimums, and then we made a small extra payment, because if you've been watching, in April, we skipped our debt payments just to kind of make sure that we had enough money in the bank to keep us going. And part of that was we actually wound up being in arrears by like $36 because we had been making extra payments on our OPD, which is our credit counseling or our debt consolidation.
Yeah, because the way they do that with the debt consolidation that they didn't, I don't remember if they told us kind of upfront, was I was under the impression that like we would skip this payment and just make one more payment at the end. But the way it is that no, the end date is the same and the amount of money by that end date is the same. So you just gotta, break up this skipped month's payments.
Which I knew.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought that skipping a payment was just adding it on to the end, which, okay, whatever.
That's the difference between credit consolidation and a loan. If it's a loan, then they would just add that payment on to the end. But with debt consolidation, like what we're in, it's a court...
Ordered,
it's like a court-ordered or mandated payment program, which means it's not like a loan. You have agreed to pay back your creditors in full by a set determined date, and you have to pay it off by that date. So I just made the extra payment to make sure that we weren't behind on our payments.
So we're essentially back to zero.
Yeah. And then we have in here our bill payments. We've made a total of $1,800. That's like our basic bills. So we paid all of those, rent, all of our insurance, power, internet. Cell phones are still really high. We pay almost $280 a month for 3 cell phone bills. Now we do live in Canada, so cell phone bills here are...
Yeah, we get screwed so hard on cell phone bills.
They're expensive to begin with, but...
You see all these companies from the States, and it's like $15 for 50 gigabytes a month. It's like, what the shit?
Yeah, no, the minimum you'd be paying here is... for 1 gig of data and unlimited everything would probably be like $45 a month.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Now, admittedly, ours is higher because 2 of our phones are technically financed through a cell phone bill. Because essentially that's what it is. When you buy a phone with your carrier for a discounted price, you're just financing the rest of it over a 2-year term. Which is what you see over on the side where it says Virgin, because we're with Virgin. We owe $1,000 on our phones still, and that goes down by $70 every month. And we would ideally at some point like to pay those off in full and then buy our next phones in cash, which is why we have them as a sinking fund, so that we can lower this bill, because we could lower this bill by probably close to $100 if we just bought our phones and paid off the old ones. And then subscriptions was $86. We use pretty much all of these every day. I highly recommend Audible and Skillshare.
Yeah. Who don't sponsor these videos. We can't monetize or anything yet, but
No.
hopefully we can get a thing going with Audible and Skillshare, because we love and use those every single day.
Every day. Bank fee $31.90. So this is really high because we used to bank with Tangerine because Tangerine is free, 100%. And we do still recommend Tangerine.
Yeah, Tangerine was really, really good to us.
Yes, but because we've gotten rid of our credit card, we now need a Visa debit card.
Which Tangerine does not offer.
Exactly. So we've gone to Scotiabank, which is also a great bank. But all banks in Canada, your monthly fees are around $15 a month. Some are as low as about $14, some are as high as $16, some go all the way up to $30, but then you're getting like a lot of perks that like we don't need. So about $15 a month is what we pay for them. And then we have a couple really basic accounts with 2 other banks, and those are like $4 a month, $3.95 or something. So at some point we will be canceling those other bank accounts, but for now we just want to make sure that we're paying our bank fees.
Yeah.
And then what else do we have here? Stuff we forgot to budget for. This was, so I had a subscription to Lightroom that I was using, and I forgot to cancel it. So I got charged for that. That's like a running trend, it seems to be.
That's how they get you. Free trial of this, and then, it just kind of becomes part of your life that you're not thinking about anymore, and then all of a sudden there's money missing.
Yeah, so needless to say, I've canceled that. Under here, we'll see a category for reimbursements. This actually doesn't affect our budget at all. What this is my dad has lawn care that gets done at his house, and years prior we used to pay for this. This was like our yearly Father's Day gift to him.
Yeah.
But he's paying for it himself. So the way this works is he gives us the money for it. It goes in and would show a positive in here, which is again why you see a positive of $334. It's not counted as an income because it's not. It's just a positive balance that stays in here. And then as it gets charged to our account, because it goes through our Visa debit, it just comes out of that money. So anyways, maybe a little confusing, but we don't really worry about reimbursements. Sinking funds. Again, babies should maybe come out of sinking funds. It's not necessarily a sinking fund per se, but this is like everything that's not diapers or wipes.
Yeah.
So we bought a play mat for her this month.
Yeah.
We bought a sound machine this month.
Yeah, the sound machine's pretty fly. I like it.
We bought something from Toys R Us. Oh, yeah, the high chair. We bought a high chair for her.
Because she can start eating solid foods now.
Yeah. And then we bought another subscription box from Love Every, because we've really been enjoying.
We do love those, and so does she.
We have not bought a toy since subscribing to Love Every.
Yeah, the toys are really good, really high quality, really good for the kids' development and stuff like that, and she loves them.
Yeah. So this was really high this month, almost $500. So I'm going to say that we're probably going to try really hard to not spend anything on Freya if we don't have to. Other than, diapers, wipes, food.
We're going to go to the dollar store. We're going to get a $10 pool. And she's just going to sit in the pool and we'll just hose it out at night. And she doesn't even need diapers anymore. Budget friendly.
Household, we spent $250. We had to get some blackout curtains and some curtain rods.
Yeah, it turns out Freya's more like me than like Valerie. In that Valerie can sleep basically anywhere at any time. And Freya needs it to be pitch dark.
We also got a new Brita filter and then some buckets for the balcony so we could do some gardening.
Yeah, the building's not super happy about it. They keep putting out letters to everyone about how we're not allowed to store things on our balcony, but in my mind, they're planters for the garden. I've seen other planters out on balconies, so hey.
Yeah. And then $17.30 in medical, that was for one of those nose separators. I don't know what they're called. It's the thing that goes in your nose.
Nasal dilators.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got kind of like a weird situation internally going on here that I basically can't breathe ever. I'm always stuffed up, so I got a thing that like opens up for me that's reusable and not like a breathe right strip that doesn't really work that well. So it's been pretty good.
Yeah, and then for business, we had some software purchases, which were some LUTs, which is used for video editing, as well as some presets, and then hardware, which, was the memory upgrade for the computer. I was like, what did I spend $200 on?
Yeah.
That was expensive, but now I have more than enough memory.
The computer is future-proofed for, a brief period, at least.
Yeah, a brief period of time. Because if you own a Mac, you may or may not know that to upgrade your memory through the Apple Store is ridiculously high.
Yeah, the $200 upgrade that we did ourselves would have cost close to like $700 through Apple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's so easy to do it yourself on an iMac. If I had a MacBook, that would be pretty much impossible. So, but anyways, I digress. So our total income for the month, again, was just over $5,500. Total expenses were $5,700, so we're actually negative $178. But again, that didn't matter because we had money saved up from the month prior. So even though our income was lower than our expenses this month, we had money put aside from the previous month, right? Just like in May, we put money aside for June. And in June, we'll put money aside for July. We've always done that, whether Cody's been at work or not. But it's even more important while he's off work that we're being really diligent, focused, and intense.
It's super tempting to say, "Hey, I have all my bills for the month are paid, and I have all this extra money. Let's go splurge." And sometimes you have to do that with, whatever you need new stuff for work, or you got like a major car thing happen or whatever. But on the whole, it's been really beneficial for us to keep that because we fall short all the goddamn time when I'm not working.
And then our focus for June is going to be saving 10% of all of our income.
Yes, that's something new we've decided we want to do is begin saving a big emergency fund and begin trying to invest for retirement and houses and whatever, and just try to get on that because we want to take advantage of compound interest.
Yeah. Now, I know that might be difficult to do while we have a very limited income, but I mean, just looking at this briefly, I can see that it would have been no problem for us to save 10% of our income because we made $5,500 and $500 alone went to baby stuff that we didn't need.
And another $400 went to basically McDonald's.
Yeah. Exactly. So we could have saved 10% easily, 15% easily. We probably could have even done 20%. So we're going to try and get better at saving. In our minds, we feel like, and obviously paying down debt is still a huge priority for us.
Yeah, but I feel like we're at the point now. We've been hacking at this tree for close to 6 years now.
Yeah. Part of that's just our fault.
Yeah, but a lot of it is just, it's not that we've had like insurmountable financial mountains to climb. It's just mostly that we keep dropping the ball. But we've still been trying to climb this mountain for close to 6 years now, and I'm sort of just feeling that it's better to invest pennies now than wait until I'm 60 to invest dollars.
Yeah. And then making sure that we're saving consistently as well. That allows us a safety net for, when Cody's laid off, because it does happen several times every year, regardless of what the economy is doing.
Yeah.
It's just part of his industry. It's not a reflection on him. It's not a reflection on our economy. It is literally just...
I build things for a living. I maintain things for a living. And sometimes the companies like to say, hey, I know we need to fix this piece of equipment, but we don't really want to shut it down right now. So it'll be fine until next year. And then I don't have work.
Yeah, it's very project based. Like there have been times where he's been at a new job every 3 months. There's been times where he's been at the same job for, more than a year. Sometimes his time off between jobs is a few days or a week, and other times it's several months.
Yeah.
So obviously the economy has an effect on it, and sometimes those stretches are longer. But regardless,
right now with everything that's going on, there's not a lot going on as far as oil field construction and maintenance is concerned.
Yeah.
So I'm getting baby cuddles and wifey cuddles.
Yeah. But regardless, it's important that we do have that emergency fund.
Yes.
Over and above the $1,000. We've really struggled with that bare minimum emergency fund for years.
It has bitten us literally since we started doing this. We hit our $1,000 emergency fund basically immediately, and then every time I got laid off, it was gone within a couple days, and then that's how we've paid off so much debt and still have so much debt from having started with so little.
We have literally paid off like $200,000.
Yeah, we've paid off well over $200,000 worth of debt in the last 5 years, and we started out with like $60,000 worth of debt.
Now, don't get me wrong. Again, a lot of that is our fault and bad decision making.
But a lot of that is bad decision making.
But part of it too is that again, like Cody said, we have that $1,000 emergency fund saved up.
Yeah.
And then he gets laid off from work.
And then your credit card becomes the rest of your emergency fund.
Yeah.
You gotta eat, you gotta pay your bills.
So we have, enough money set aside that we manage for like a few weeks, and then he's still out of work. So then your $1,000 emergency fund is gone. All the money you had put aside for your bills is gone.
Yeah. All the progress you'd made on your debt payments is gone.
And we have a lot of debts and a lot of living expenses. Like our rent is high. Our debt payments at times have been over $2,000 a month just for the minimum payments.
Yeah.
So, Cody's out of work for 2 or 3 months, and suddenly our credit card's back up to $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, and then we're paying that down again.
Back up to $20,000.
Yeah, and I mean
don't do that.
That interest kills you.
Yeah, don't let your credit card limit go above like $500. There's no need for it, and it'll kill you. It's bad. The more you get on your credit card, the harder it is to get out of it, and the more you're forced to rely on it. What is it? It's kind of like heroin. The first one's free, and then after that, you're screwed for life.
Oh, sorry, we have a very loud baby over there.
Yeah, she's discovering her voice and her feet, and she can almost roll over, and she can scoot like in a circle when you put her on her tummy or her back.
Can you guys believe this baby is only 5.5 months?
Yeah.
She's over
she
20
can stand.
pounds.
I have to help her with balance, but she can stand.
Anyways, what were we thinking?
We digress. Credit cards are bad. Don't do it.
And that is why we're building a bigger emergency fund now before we're out of debt. I know that kind of goes against common advice.
It kind of runs counter to specifically what Dave Ramsey teaches, but our experience has been that these last 6 years would have been so much smoother and so much easier if we'd had a much, much, much larger emergency fund. Mm-hmm. And speaking from my own experience, the last time that I'd had like a healthy chunk of money saved up, the first $5,000 is really hard. After that, it gets kind of easier and exciting to keep putting money away. And I think at this point, I'd just rather be in the position where if I wanted to, I could empty my savings account in order to cancel my debt. Mm-hmm. But right now we have no options for nothing. Yeah. So we're going to try and focus on savings and investing.
Exactly. So anyways, this wound up being a really long video.
Yeah. Kind of thinking of changing the name of our channel to just I Digress, because I digress a lot.
But if you're still here, thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. Like it if you like it. Like it twice if you don't like it. Like it 3 times if you don't like it. Really show us who's boss. Like it, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.